Greetings, it's Friday, July 10th. And woo, I'm just getting home now and it's almost 9 o'clock at night. It was such a busy day today. I don't know what's happening with interpreters in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I had been scheduled to do 2 short interpretation jobs today, but then they call me and they're like, as soon as you're done, call us. We have emergencies. So I ended up working a long day today, which is good because I'll get paid, I get paid 30 days out. So 30 days from now, I'll have a good check for today. But it's just like this happened last Friday too, where Friday was just slammed. So I don't know if workers are trying to get in all their appointments in by the end of the week, but the 2 big cases that I had today were, unfortunately, we had to remove children from their parents. CPS has this reputation that it does that all the time. Actually, it's just a fraction of what's done with them. The most, 90%, 95% of the cases I handle with CPS, it's more like going in and evaluating the family and trying to provide them assistance where they need it. Sometimes there's drug rehabilitation for a kid. We send them to counseling, or parents are alcoholics, send them to, alcohol treatment, therapies, counseling, all kinds of other stuff, provide them with. Sometimes people, especially very poor people, can't afford basic services. So, CPS sometimes will help pay a month's rent, pay the utilities, childcare. That's the bulk of what it does, is trying to help the families out so they can raise their children better. But what CPS is known for is, of course, the more drastic cases where kids are removed from homes. And, they can't go on television and say why a kid is removed and name the family. So that's why you only hear the parents go, oh, my child was taken away from me. But usually something drastic happened that the kids had to be removed. And 2 of the cases today were just that. It was like, these kids can't stay with these parents. Not at all. Not at all. This is unsafe for the children. You look at these, you go to these people's homes and you find out what is going on and you're just like, no. Of course, what's interesting is the parents that are the worst are the ones that are doing the worst damage to their kids. So the parents, I didn't do anything wrong. Whereas most cases, the parents go, yeah, I feel a little overwhelmed. I may have overreacted. I am having issues. I'm having difficulties. I've noticed my drinking has gone up. Yes, I keep smoking marijuana and I can't quit it. And I need help in that. But then the more extreme cases of, basically child abuse or infant abuse, the parents are like, I didn't do anything wrong. And it's harder to get it through their heads that this is not a safe environment for the child. So I ended up doing 2 cases like that today that were removals. And that's rare because I don't get removals very often. But to have 2 in one day is like, whoa. But the kids are safe and they're in a better place. One set of parents could have cared less, really, that their kids were removed. The other mother was like, it dawned on her that it escalated to this level because they had tried counseling her, saying, your child needs therapy. You need to be more involved. You should be taking a parenting class. We're going to give you X amount of time to get that all lined up, but this is what you need to do. If you do not do it, that means it's neglectful supervision, and then we will have to take more aggressive measures, including removal. Well, today was the removal, because the parent hadn't lifted a single finger and done nothing. And then she was shocked that we were actually removing the child. And it's like, you are not taking care of a child that needs medical attention. The child needs medical attention, and you're not taking your child to get medical attention. Somebody has to be in charge of this child going to the doctor. So we've placed, in both cases, the kids were placed with other family members. People think that kids are just taken away and sent to foster parents. Foster parents exist for when we don't have a family that can take the kids in. So then they go to a foster family. But the majority of the time, we find a family member that's willing to take the kids in. So, and that was the case with both of these kids, both sets of multiple children today. family members stepped up to take over. So I'm glad the kids are safe. We did our job. Go CPS. I worked with 2 wonderful workers today that just are very seasoned, knew what needed to happen, and they're very empathetic. They completely understand why the situation got out of hand, but also they know how to put their foot down and say, but this is what has to be done. So that was an interesting day. And then just got home. I just looked at the news right before this. Oh my God, they're sending federal assistance to Dallas now to help with the humongous overflow of COVID-19 patients. I think we have 831 hospitalized COVID-19 patients right now in Dallas. And 2/3 of them are under the age of 65, folks. This is not the over 65 age group. 2/3 are under 65. More than half the cases are under 39. So this is really impacting the younger set in this county. And I guess all of us older people are being more precautious, are taking caution. But the people that are ending up in the hospital, 2/3 are under 65. So this myth that it only affects old people, wrong. Yes, older folks are dying from it at a higher rate. But who ends up in the hospital, at least in this county? It's younger people. And I mean, we're talking about ICU and ventilators and wow. So this disease is definitely spreading. I did hear that they are still debating whether to reopen schools in Dallas County because needless to say of what's happening, or pushing the date back into September to hopefully get the numbers down or the situation more under control. But yeah, it's gotten way out of hand here in Dallas County. And it's interesting to listen to national news. In the car, I listen to NPR, and they're talking about Dallas. So it's like, I live here. Yay! You know, Florida has the most cases per capita right now. And then Arizona, Phoenix has the most, in the city of Phoenix, most people are testing positive for COVID-19. They're at a 25% positivity rate. That means 1 out of 4 people that goes to taking the test have COVID-19. And they're also needing federal assistance because their hospitals are starting to overflow. What was interesting, the governor is still debating whether there should be any more rollbacks. Whereas here they have petitioned the governor, and the governor looks like he's going to go ahead and give the okay to allow certain counties like Dallas to shut down more because it's gotten so out of control. And they say it's going to get worse in the next 2 weeks is the anticipation. I don't have any other news except the update of this COVID, and then, just talking about my job with CPS. And it's, I've met so many interesting people, and I've seen people go through some of these programs that CPS offers. And, CPS gets a bad rap a lot of times because you hear of the cases that fell through the cracks. But I have to say, it really overall, working with them, it's a great system because we really do catch a lot of kids that the families needed help, and they absolutely needed help, and CPS was able to provide it for them. And a lot of times the parents resist the parenting classes, and I've had to translate those parenting classes. Oh my God, I think it's a requirement for every parent on the planet. Every parent should take the parenting class that CPS offers. It's a 10-week course, once a week, 2 hours a week. It's phenomenal. And I don't have kids, and I learned so much about conflict resolution through those classes. So, because it applies not just to kids, it applies to grown-ups, because adults can be a lot like kids sometimes. And if you know how to handle it, it really helps. So I love the CPS parenting classes. And it's funny because so many people resist taking it because it's a 10-week commitment. And they're like, I feel like I'm a good parent. And you're not. That's why there's a CPS case going on. But it's one of those that is really, really a cool program. And so one of the parents today was resisting having to go to the classes. And it's like, she'll be by week 3. Because the people that finally do show up, by the 3rd week, they're like, oh my God, why did I not have this information before? So, and then by week 10, they're like, you can just see the transformation in people. So, this is something that this agency does very, very well. And the intervention with kids with problems, it's amazing. So Anyway, I will let you go. Have a good evening. If you watch this tonight, if you watch during the day, good morning or good afternoon. Please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I want a few more subscribers. If you think I'm cute, subscribe. If you don't think I'm cute, subscribe. If you think I'm subscribe, and then ring the notification bell. All right. You have a good evening, a good day or afternoon or good morning, and great weekend. And don't forget to wear your mask, especially here in Dallas area. Help us out. It's like all that closure we did was for naught if we're going to have to close down again. So let's just get this disease under control. Bye.